Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland, your Lord and Master, who makes you work faster. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on Semoisky winter. Yes, indeed, in this small snow-clad village, somewhere in the Baltics, the German army and the Russian army are about to clash. In the north, we got Wuff fighting for the Oberkommand West of Germany, Deutschland. Fighting here for the Feldherrnhalle Panzergrenadier before it moved down to Hungary, with fortifications, special operations, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces Doctrine Triple Infantry versus Gart Rifle, Shock Rifle, and Gart Motor. Interesting choices there, slightly for Joe with Triple Infantry. Well, Shock Rifle really to an extent. The other two are very much classic. Similarly, Wolf's Doctrines are also largely classical ones. We got points being laid, or sandbags up at the Calf Point, saying south as well than Engineers. Kublai out here for Wolf to help him seize territory in the early game. It also probably means that Wolf is reasonably confident that Jove is not going to go for the Special Rifle Command, since the Special Rifle Command usually can mean your Kugelwagen very quickly does not gain you a lot of value. We got the Volkers moving out here, though, for the Fatherland. Sturmpionier moving up. The overall sort of Baltic sector was mostly categorized as being largely infantry division, but also being made up of a lot of Waffen SS units, usually not the most elite. Usually, in fact, no SS Panzer divisions, but usually sort of Panzer divisions, or a lot of volunteer SS divisions, or volunteer probably in more quotation marks than anything. Since they, by the later stages, the WETI forcefully conscripted a lot of people into the Waffen SS as well. Usually, in fact, ethnic Germans throughout occupied territories. Fun fact. But there are several SS Grenadier Division up there, Waffen SS, made of Estonians, and I think it was either Lithuanians or the Latvians as well. Points having secured by the Kugelwagen, triple consoles out here for Jove. Moving back, and then you had the Scandinavian one, the Nordland, and you also had the Belgian and the Dutch, which sort of had their own SS brigades. So there's sort of a lot there, the more volunteer-like divisions. There's a fun fact. More conscripts and more folks on for both sides, both focusing hard on infantry, Sturmpionier moving up. Bit of shooting back and forth here, though this engagement's not going to be, I think, amazing for Wolf. Most we can do is basically stall a conscript squad until he brings up more force to deal with it. Of course, in this regard, Joe should be anticipating this, and possibly, in fact, considering just falling back, though, of course, if it does, that the Sturmpanzer can really bring in pursuit. So he's sort of in a bit of a sticky situation. He'll have to retreat or bring up more reinforcements on themselves. We've sort of seen the slow beginning of battle here, but the problem is that the longer this just sits off of Wolf, the worse it gets for Sturmpanzer. So now his other troops being, ducked down here, so you can't really sort of get them out of there. Up far north, the Kugelwagen moving about. In the southeast, Joe made good progress with Engineers, so in him infantry build, which would, I think, make Gart Rifle a really good choice with them. 4 conscripts with the submachine guns, which I think is a very good synergy there. Plus, hit the dirt. I mean, Gart's Rifle and all that support is pretty good. Of course, Shock Rifle could also be decent, and so also good Gart Motor, but they don't quite do, shall we say, again, synergize with the act of having 4 conscript squads. Similarly, Wolf, Stock, it's all to a light degree synergized as well, but you can easily go for any of those. I mean, it's not like, any of the 3 doctrines do not, for example, all work with 4 full conscript squads. Conscript squad, they need to fall back, but even then, as you can see, the engagement is actually kind of working out for Joe. The dude to the house is actually pretty poorly situated for defending the point from the south. And, well, I mean, again, if you can't bring up more forces, it's just, basically a stalling tactic, but if you can't break through, it's just wasting manpower. In the southeast, we can see a Volkswagen squad bravely holding out against Joe's forces here. Molotov's up as well, very good there again. Lots of conscripts, getting them upgrades, of course, is a really good idea. We'll see what it ends up with. The up north for Wolf, though, troops being reinforced. No truck yet here, though, for him, and we got Molotovs being flung through the windows, banging some up. Of course, the Russians didn't call them Molotovs, I think they just called them incendiaries, so fire bombs or something. Molotovs is something the Finnish call them as they used them against the Russians, obviously. So it's sort of funny they're called Molotov cocktails when, the Russians never called them that. But again, it's not like they're unique to the Russians either. I mean, the Germans use their own, and that's, again, I mean, actually they mass-produced them industrially, and but you never really hear about the Germans using, well, Molotov cocktails, whereas they call them fire bottles. So that's a, very fun little detail there as well. But a bit of a shootout here, troops being burned out, need to retreat here. Wolf having a bit of rough start as Job is still going very slowly, but surely making progress against Wolf, who I think scattered his force perhaps a bit too thinly. But he is at least going for the truck here. I mean, with all the infantry as battle group headquarters makes sense, they could go mechanized regiment. I mean, I've seen players who go for an infantry build and then they go for the battle mechanized regiment anyways. but I think he'd benefit a lot from the Belgrade headquarters. Joe, though, with double fuel points there, is going to be quite a threat here for Wuff, in particular if he takes up fast. In fact, he's gone for a second engineer squad. That would certainly work with it, though he should probably get the tech going soon. Big push, you can see now Wuff is concentrating his forces more, getting ready for a bigger push here against Job. He's had enough. No more Mr. Nice German. Are we nice Germans? Well, to our friends, but we on the Eastern Front. Shut up. He's sneaking about. He's actually hiding them, I think, so to try and creep out and maybe do something nasty there to Wuff. We can see he's actually getting control of the western side here. Very good, very good. Engineers moving in as well. Jove still not taking up. Wuff is not either. His truck is still standing about there, expending valuable fuel as the engine just stands doing nothing. Wasteful, Wuff. Wasteful. Even if it's just synthetic fuel, you need to do harder in, preserving it for the fatherland and your panzers. And obviously there's no actual fuel loss there, but just, flavour. Flavour. But there you go. Belgrade headquarters, as anticipated in the end. Mechanized regiment would have been a slight surprise, but nothing big. But Belgrade headquarters is, again, if you got a lot of infantry, you want, a consistent source of healing for them, long term. Similar to what Joe's going on here. Again, I'm surprised that Jove has yet to take up. I mean, he's basically using the engineers to grab more territory, leaving the council to do most of the fighting. They could, of course, upgrade one engineer squad with a flamethrower. We got Bunhand gun out off there. Jove is losing a bit of ground here in the centre as Wuff is on the offensive now, swinging the tide back in favour of Germany. Jove slightly falling back, trying to establish sort of a defensive line here, so he can sort of bring out more forces, begin the pushback against Wuff. Sandbags being dug in here. Very good spot. Very good spot. Comes with their ready to fall back as fresh troops relieve them. He could also send into the harass elsewhere. And Joe finally takes up, supporting company out. Very good here, particularly on this map. Maxims, mortars, field guns, all very good choices. And the Special Allied Command could go for it, but it feels a bit too late at this stage. Plus, a sniper versus all these folk companies is not bad, but it's not super effective either. Sturm Pioneers sending in for a flank, very good there. Joe yet to go for Doctrine, neither has Wuff. I mean, on a map like Semoisky with a lot of closer distance, Gart Rifle with the submachine guns would be pretty good. Or you could go for Shock Rifle with the Shock Troopers. They could also work quite well on these closer distances. Also there, lit and thrown at the Sturm Pioneer, catching them up there and burning them away, forcing retreat here. In the centre country, fighting out here with the Volksgrenadiers. We got another attempt at flanking as well, though they're not in a good condition. So nothing there yet from Joe. Support weapon company, Maxim mortar field gun. We shall see, depends on what he's worried about. But there you go, Maximum away. No flak half track for Wuff as of yet. Might be he's not planning on it, or maybe he's just been too concerned with other matters to bother with it. You could of course also just go for machine guns. I mean, with an opponent with a lot of infantry at some stage, you probably wanted some machine guns to deal with it. In particular, if Job does end up going for, say, Gart Rifle, a lot of submachine guns, he's going to badly need machine guns to ensure Jove just doesn't get, too close. So there you go, Maxim crew out here for Jove. While the Russians by 1943 were beginning to develop and make another machine gun, which by the way was also wheel mounted, it was basically more of an issue of production and logistics. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people seem to imagine, that's not seen, but imagine that the Russian industry was actually highly efficient. When it came to making tanks, for example, it was to a degree very efficient. But the problem was, as soon as it moved into like other parts of the industry, it actually tends to sort of run into some issues. That's a fun little note there. Plus, it's just a matter of getting all the things out there to the front line as well. So, plus, and also very importantly, the Russian army very much believed in you use what you got until you don't have it anymore. Like, I mean, they used T-70s until the end of the war, despite them being stopped in production in 1943 because they had stocks of them that had to be used. Plus, they still had a very large army. Similarly, the Maxim, they had a ton of them, and they had to use them. Particularly because they couldn't get the other machine guns around everywhere else. So a little fun fact there. People tend to slightly forget logistics when it comes to talking warfare and production. Well, we got a truck out here for Wuff, 3-hour punted quarters. Joe, though, again, he's got a lot of fuel, but he's not quite pulling it as hard as he could into some faster tech there, which I do feel like is a bit unfortunate there for Joe. I do feel that is a bit unfortunate. Great for Wuff, though, great for Wuff. You do also get one machine gun out here, the MG-34, which you've also saw usage there will usually be handed out. It's like third-rate divisions and like so, though I mean, if they couldn't get MD-42s, the unit in question, they'd send in MD-34s, because even by the end of the war, the MD-34 was still the most produced, simply because it was being produced for much longer. It's a little fun fact there as well. Constant firing with the Fultz Grenadiers up here, engineers. Oh, incendiary grenade off, very good work there. Threatening the fuel point, we're attempting to, we can see their Wuff is on it. Defending the fuel for the fatherland. Shootout here comes with there. Max machine gun firing away as well. Up here, troops healing reinforcing. Points there being secured. Jove still not taking up. I'm starting to get a bit worried about that. Wuff, I imagine, is not, if you knew. Also interesting note about Wuff, though, he's actually been forced to expend so many munitions and everything else, he hasn't been able to upgrade his Fultz Grenadiers with assault rifles. That's actually kind of good there for Jove. I mean, as long as you keep just forcing Wuff to have to spend munitions and anything else, I mean, that means his contract can use it to the fight the Fultz goes reasonably well, because I mean, if they get assault rifles, things suddenly get a bit tricky here. There's still a rather lack of doctrine, but there you go. Tank command on the way. And at this stage, I mean, 11-minute mark, he'd be better off just going for the mechanized armor company and begin pushing out T-34s. And at this stage, that could indicate he might even just go straight for guard mode just to push out a T-35 fast. T-35s, by the way, become very much part of the meta, and I mean, does make sense. Because usually when your opponent goes up for the Panzer IV, the T-35 that has a distinct advantage. Kulvan is doing a good job the harassing Graham territory for Wuff, bringing up infantry just to the fighting. Engineers sending out. He should spot it, but he's not getting back there from the mechanized armor company. I mean, he could hope to rely on H-6s and 6s and the likes, in which case he might actually be aiming for shock rifle then, and an IS-2. Maybe. I mean, it's a bit tricky to say what Jove is exactly planning here versus Wuff. Maximum versus MD-34. Southeast, Fultz guns pushed back by the mines in a counter squad. Very nice. So I'm not entirely sure what Jove's planning. There we go. We got sustained fire. Hello, it's a barely utilized ability, but it's an interesting one. Basically, just ensures they can, do more DPS since there's less, downtime from machine gun, less reloading, and just keeps firing, as you can hear there. They should probably switch targets there to allow the Fultz to ensure they don't get too close. There you go. But as we notice again, it just keeps firing. It just keeps firing, allowing it to pin down fast, but also just do more damage. It's an interesting ability there. It's a very interesting one. Light infantry on the way there for Wuff to blast Jove out of any defensive positions. Back here, still nothing going on for Jove. I mean, the longer he waits with all of this, we can see the Wuff has gone for Luftwaffe, Fallschirmjägers, flak emplacements, smoke, all that. But the longer he waits, the more it feels like he's aiming for shock rifle and IS-2 to call in. Maybe some shock troopers, though. If he's planning shock troopers, he'd go for them now, because the faster he can get those in, the faster he can give Wuff a headache. In particular, since Wuff's Fultz Grenadiers are not upgraded, they're going to really struggle versus shock troopers. And Jove does have a lot of manpower. So, I mean, either shock troopers, a fuel cache, and a bunch of guardsmen. I definitely think that Jove needs to step up his game just a bit there. Just a bit. He's moving up, Kulvan falling back. Banking, nothing further going on there for Jove and the 3rd Tank Corps. Grand points there. Actually didn't give him a unit name there. The Russians, by the way, sort of organised, well, the Russian equivalent to a German tank division was a tank corps, mechanized corps, simply due to the loss they suffered during Barbarossa, caused them to scale down a lot of units. So, in that regard, ultimately, a tank corps was the equivalent of a Western division. Sort of a little fun note there as well, for those who were wondering. Like, for example, a Russian tank platoon was, a tank or two, 3 tanks, much smaller than a Western tank platoon. As an example, in a tank company, again, similarly, much smaller. So again, it's sort of, that way sort of was worked out. But yeah, it feels like Jove is suddenly thinking about the IS-2. But again, he'd benefit a lot from them choosing a doctrine soon, again, getting out some shock troops, maybe some field guns to them with ambush camouflage as well. Yup. I read the situation correctly. It is shock rifle. Again, get out some shock troops. I mean, There's the argument, he's worried that Wuff is going to figure it out, of course, immediately as soon as he sees it, but like, if Wuff sees nothing from Jove anyways for ages, he's going to figure it out either way, so I mean, the only difference is that Jove just makes it easier to get hurt there without shock troops on the field to really just make things miserable. And then he takes. Alright. I've really got no clue as to what Jove exactly is thinking here. That's just weird. I mean, it's good he's not just trying to play straight for the eyes too, but at the same time, the way he's sort of, sequencing things just seems a bit odd to me. I really should get out some shock troops there. And we got the Panzer IV on the way there for Wuff. Also, he's actually gone for Panzer VI in the Sturmpanzer. He's probably an indicator that Wuff is actually really worried about Jove rushing out a light vehicle and wanted the Panzer VI ready. But Jove never did that. Of course, it's going to be useless as any armor Wuff or Jove gets. So, I mean, it's never a loss there. Unless Jove, for whatever bizarre reason, never goes for a single tank, which would be quite frankly weird. Heavy artillery firing down in the church. Panzer IV roughly halfway done. And there you go. He's going for the KV-8. I mean, that's also a reason to go for it, but wow. Just don't see KV-8s very much. But he's going to need then a field gun out because he's otherwise got no anti-tank. And the KV-8 cannot fight a Panzer IV. That's just not happening. Panzer IV sitting out there with the Pindlemat machine gun on the way. Sending it off against the Maxim. Very good attack there by Wuff. But I haven't seen a KV-8 in some time though, so I mean, it is interesting. It is very interesting to see a KV-8 out. And there we go, he's going for a field gun. He'll probably have to go for 2, to be honest. He will probably have to go for 2. Maxim needs to retreat as well. But he might lose that Maxim if Jove doesn't move it now. Yeah, it's too late there. Guess there's too much going on for Jove. We got the KV-8 moving ahead here. It is flamethrower and it's 45-minute gun. He needs it to fall back. Pretty ballsy there to attack straight into all that. Fulton's being burned up horribly. Fritz and Ludwig suddenly got fried. Troops to hitting reinforcing. Troops pulling up there. Sturmpanzer moving up. They need to be careful. They're moving into the fires. Plus they're getting shot at by the conscripts. KV-8 here has gotten 3 kills in, which isn't too bad. So that's the Panzer I. In fact, has got 5 kills. Sturmpanzer trying to flank in there. Right from the KV-8. And there you go. Jorgen immediately gets lit on fire. Like an effective Christmas tree. So there's 3 arriving there. And he's going for a mortar as well now. I would have thought maybe go for double field guns to deal with the Panzer IV, but he can't just go for 1. Like his infantry ships firing away. Field gun up there, shooting and pushing back the Panzer IV, which does allow the KV-8 to advance as well. There you go, Fulton's going to get burned up. Force from retreat. There we go. Easily getting several kills in there. Might try for a wipe there. Almost got it. Almost got it. Oh, so close. But could get some kills in the advancing Fulton it is. Wuff there needs to be careful. The Soviet Dragon should not be taken lightly. There you go. Just look at the damage he's doing. He's almost wiping the Fulton in one go. There you go. Panzerfaust off, but it's not going to have an effect. And they're just going to stand still. Suffering even more against the KV-8. 13, 14 kills. Good God. That KV-8 is on fire. That is turning out to be much better than I anticipated it would. Probably because I haven't seen anyone using the KV-8 in so long, but it's just breaking Wuff's infantry single-handedly. And it's not doing much against the Panzer IV, but it's ensuring the Panzer IV has no real support to work with. I mean, it's already Veterans of 1. That's impressive. Troops in reinforcing. Shock trooper still would be neat. Anti-tank grenade off there. Damage is then doing the Panzer IV. Bring in the KV-8. We do have a KV-8 out here for Wuff. That's going to make it a bit harder for Joe to move the KV on free, and he probably should get repaired, to be honest. He should be anticipating these anti-tank measures. He's going in for the car fight, and the MU-34, there you go, burning like KV-8 shoots, bounces off the KV-8's frontal armour. Is he going to go for it? That's a bit much there, I think, for Jove, and he looks like he realises it. Pathing issue, I think. He's sort of trying to get to reverse, but for some reason it's jacking a bit about there. I know that feeling, it's not very fun. But there you go, pulling back, 17 kills. Sandbags up here. The KB, it just seems to have completely thrown off Wuff as well. Like, just the sheer surprise of someone going for a KV-8 and then it actually doing some damage to him, and I think it sort of left Wuff a bit rattled. Normally, at this stage of the war, the Russians would have run on T-34 fitted with a flame for actually in the whole machine gun, so it could still fire its main gun as well. It's a little fun fact there. Alright, so there we go. It's fixed up. Try not to get it scratched again. Or the engine damaged again. Or too much blood on it again. Ja, father. Shut up. Smoke screen down there too. Okay, that was Wuff. I was in charge. Sure, that's Joe. Was that Wuff? Because it had been Joe had been allowed to fall back to a safe position. It had been Wuff obviously allowed to attack Joe, plus make it hard for the field gun to fire. No use of the anti-tank gun ambush tactics, though, would have been interesting. Missed. Molotov off. Good hit. KV-8 is good to go as well. Maximum number 2 out there for Joe. Panzer's trying to repair under the fire there. I feel that's a bit awfully ambitious there by Wuff. She just tried falling back and laying down another smoke screen. Looks like in this case he does get a bit lucky, but luck only lasts as long until the flamethrower arrives. Also very good move there by Joe up north. Instead of going for the fuel pump directly because he undercover this spare punch quarters makes it harder, he at least just cut it off there from Wuff's control. That's a nice move there. Ooh, almost got whacked in the full Grenadiers. A KV-8 for next. 20 kills, almost at 22 there. Oh, he's taking a lot of damage in the KV-8. Oh, but he gets the KV-8. He wipes it, 24 kills. Almost at 22. That KV-8 is a killer. I think he's being awfully ambitious there with the KV-8 though. His field gun isn't quite within supporting range either, but he's forcing away there a lot of Wuff's troops. You got Fallschirmjäger called in to support here. Field gun moving up. My infantry gun firing away ineffectually, just trying to distract the KV-8 crew. Just shoot, Fritz, but if we don't, the tank will get killed and then we get killed, because we can't stop a tank anyways. I think Joe is now just stalling for the eyes too. On the back of a KV-8. I don't think I've ever seen that before, at least not after the KV-8 was actually required to be built. But it's actually working. Also good map for Joe, whereas I think Wuff got too focused around this part of the map. It does tend to be a pitfall a lot of players fall into. They start north Semoisky. They get too focused around here, not around here. Again, like, the thing is, there's just such a narrow path of attack here, whereas you can attack through there's much more, plus you can defend the field, around here much more efficiently. So to an extent I feel that's a bit of a mistake here that Wuff has been committing again. He's trying to attack through here, which is a really bad spot to attack from, whereas again if you try to attack through here, it's much better ground to attack through. There we go, Joe going for the eyes too. Wuff is going to need a Panther here to have a chance versus the eyes too. He's going to need Yak Panthers, but I think the Panther's going to be better suited due to the terrain of the map. KV-8 though is super close to Vet 72. On the other hand, the issue with Wuff right now is he's just bleeding out so much in part due to the KV-8, so he can't actually get the manpower for the Panther, but he desperately needs a Panther right now. And you can see I think Joe's going to go straight for the scrap punch at the quarters with the eyes too. He's going to knock it out. There we go. straight for the Schwerpanzer quarters with the IS-2, which means he's not able to go for a Panther. He's got otherwise no counters to it. The situation with Wuff is looking pretty bleak. We've got a smoke screen down here as well from Joe, I believe. Yup. To ensure he can't, he's just going to fire here from around there with the cannon there. So with this, we can see that Wuff is actually, Joe's overall preparing an attack on the position, and again using smoke screen to cover it and support it already ahead of time. That is some great planning there from Joe, by the way. That is some strong planning tactically. That does deserve some credit. So there you go, Schwerpanzer quarters down. Wuff is in some very deep shizer now. Also highlights the danger of trying to use your Schwerpanzer quarters like that, particularly on smaller maps like Semoisky. Also, you know, don't attack into flamethrowers with the infantry. You're just feeding it. There you go, 28 kills on that KV-8. It's actually approaching Veteran D3. An ace KV-8, I don't know when the last time I saw that. It was probably during the time where like the KV-8 could actually just wipe entire bases in terms of seconds because they had big damage bonuses, but also because most base buildings were in fact pretty weak. So there were games that just decided about players in the, I think, first year or something like that, just rushing the enemy base with a KV-8 and just burning everything down. So that led to the KV nerf being, well, yeah, being nerfed. Finally, the Fudgeman's down to fire. Again, Wuff overall still sticking to this path again. I mean, overall, a good rule of thumb is always try to attack for heavier north Semoisky as much as possible. Again, here is very dangerous. Good on the KV-8 there, but 30 kills. Good hit there. The machine gun head defending the last victory point under control of Wuff. Otherwise, it's not looking good there either. Joe at 420 and just blazing down the Germans with Molotovs and KV-8s. Oh, there we go, getting some kills, wiping out the conscripts almost. They're going to tank grenade off. He'll probably try and go for no one to damage the engine. There we go. Finally got to a sort of, there we go, full wipe there. I think he got a friendly kill there as well. Yeah, indeed. Poor Wolf was a bit too close. Joe with a quick replacement most losses. Wolf's situation is, I mean, he could try and go for the mechanized regular and try and save up for King Tiger. The question is, we can get that, hold out for that long. But I suppose it's better than nothing. One thing for sure though, he's going to need more anti-tank weapons and more things to actually deal with the IS-2, because the Panzer IV Panzerung like Kedner was going to be a pretty tough job there. P-5416 all the way there for Jove. Cancels it. Goes for T-70. He's clearly not too worried about German armour at this stage. He's just going to commit more to murdering Wolf's infantry. Panzer IV flanking the IS-2. A bold move here. Panzer also firing. Taking the IS-2 down to half health. Panzer IV takes a good hit. 100 points left here for Wuff. And the Feldherrnhalle. Panzerfaust there, damaging the engine of the IS-2. Sunday Bass called in here. Good hit there, almost got the IS-2. Main gun up, main gun up. Wuff just might be able to do it, despite me just saying he probably wouldn't be able to do it. God damn it, Wuff, stop proving me wrong, you bastard. There we go, IS-2 down. But the KV-8 arrives, 33 kills. Veteran die Sturmpionier. But they're quickly being torn through by the KV-8. Panzer IV can't seem to hit, halfway to Veteran die 3. 88 points left there for Wuff. Southeastern victory probably scored again here by Jove. Troops healing reinforcing. Panzer IV being rolled back there. The situation is looking desperate here for the German army. Kanska's falling back. T-70 setting out.
The enemy has 75 points left. Supply sector under attack.
Panzer IV slowly approaching Veteran T3.
We are losing territory.
59 points left. No tack. Not much else there. At this stage, one of the issues with Wuff is just the way he's been expending his infantry against the flamethrowers all just led to a massive manpower bleed, so he's just been caught in a vicious circle where he can't really go for anything else, either because he just keeps bleeding out in terms of manpower.
50 points remaining.
In this regard, the KV has been a massive success for Jove. It's pretty much just ensured Wuff can't use his resources efficiently, which is actually quite massive when you think about it. And certainly I think is quite a stroke of genius when you think of it like that. And they just forgot it was that good versus infantry for some reason. They just thought it was, mediocre, but nothing like this. I mean, it's about to become an ace, pyromaniac tank. 37 kills. I mean, that's done insane amount of damage to Wuff. Again, it has helped that Wuff to an extent has been willingly feeding it his infantry, which is generally not what you want to be doing. I mean, he's focusing so much around the center where it is, so trying to hit some of the other points, and now there's a T-70 basically guarding there like Cerberus, guarding the gates to hell. Now he's going for the Panzer IV flank. A desperate last big gambit here by Wuff. Technically, in the actual war, if it got that close, he would probably just run over the anti-tank and crushed it beneath the sheer weight. But that's another story. He's being murdered. Counter covering off the retreat path. Junpal trying to support here. Panzer IV getting a good hit. It's gains the ace level. It's getting hit by an anti-tank grenade. And there you go, Wuff pushing in more there. Panzer IV desperately trying to escape here. Mortar nearby. And again, Wuff's manpower woes continues. I mean, he's flooding so much fuel, but he just can't use it because his infantry just keeps bleeding out against that KV-8. For that matter, everything else Jove's got. 41 kills. That's extreme.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
That's intense. Almost getting there, the ace KV-8, but there you go. T-70's flanking in there. Panzer IV's nowhere near to be seen. Volkswagen can't support either. 19 points left there for Wuff. Kedmev are wiped. Volkswagen versus Kanskis, all just on fire. North here, Fultz rushing the mortar. Now that's through the middle for Jove. But Kedmev from the 2 wiped. In fact, destroyed.
We have lost the mortar crew.
Incendiary appears around here, just Wuff desperately trying anything at this stage. He's lost his Sturmpunk, so he can't actually repair the Panzer IV anyways. Got the T-70.
Vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
He's just bleeding out. He's got 17 points left.
The enemy is encroaching
16.
on territory.
Rushing the Northern Victory Point, not bad. He's going to lose the Fulsko squad there. That's the maximum. There we go. White. 13 points. 12.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate
Lost the
sacrifice.
unit to a mine.
The people anticipate our victory. The enemy
10.
has 10 points remaining.
And there you go. GG. Game over. Fears lying lost. And Joe wins with 420 victory points left, having essentially just burned through his entire opponent, blazing him down. Certainly a brutal fight here, and I mean, in terms of kills, I mean, Joe ended up doing a lot there. I mean, almost 1/3 there, the kills. I mean, 1/4 of the kills, with 25% there of the kills were from the KV-8. It really did some insane work there for Joe, partly because, again, Wuff just kept feeding into him. And again, the overall issue is just, again, a lot of players, when they play in Semoisky in South North, they tend to, for some reason, just focus very much in this narrow part, rather than again trying to attack through here. It's just a massive flaw they commit to. Again, it's obviously it takes longer time. The problem is sometimes you just gotta take the longer path because it means you're not attacking into what essentially is a really, really bad spot to attack to. I mean, there's a reason why the Germans, tried to flank through Holland and Belgium, because ultimately that would be easier. They can just charge your backs away through the metronome and fight any attacks there were usually just to tie down. And the problem is when a lot of people apparently playing Semoisky Winter, they just think, You know what? The Germans should attack through the Maginot Line. That's basically what you're saying. If you're attacking through here, you're saying the Germans should attack through the Maginot Line rather than through the Netherlands and Belgium. You know, end of story. Again, had Wolf been more, I think, able to sort of exercise attacks through here and just, you know, fight from there, I think it would have been done much better versus Joe, because it's much harder to pin down around here than it is here. Overall, the instinct strategy for Joe was a bit odd at times when we playing there, but again, the KB worked out well, in part because Wolf to an extent fed it, which is really bad. But others got used to those units, and Wolf certainly had his moments as well, but ultimately just undercut it. Part because of the massive manpower, part because, again, with the poor tactics, but also just feeding the KV-8. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, one, subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own, provide some feedback in the comment section. And if you like what I do, you can donate or you can pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. A little bit of support that would certainly be most appreciated. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience.